Cik Naim, Mira, satu soalan ni the manners, adab dalam family ni, is it important?
Pada saya important lah.
Pada awak?
Top priority.
Why?
Manners make the man, okay, and woman. Well, I think kalau kita hidup dalam sekeluarga, where we face each other every day, that manners is the biggest difference in the communication kat rumah. It can become something so hostile, berbual, atau so gentle. And manners is that determining factor. Without manners, a simple message can just go out like that.
Now, do a man need to be a very gentle? Do a woman need to be a soft top? Kita akan kupaskan. Baik, pada mereka yang baru buka rancangan kami ni, rancangan Ranting, ya, kita akan kupaskan cerita-cerita ataupun pengalaman-pengalaman dalam segi keluarga, ataupun dikatakan the best value in a family. Ya, kita dah ada banyak episod yang kita bincangkan dalam bulan Ramadan ini. Jadi mereka yang baru saksikan ni, selamat datang. Dan bersama saya ini ialah seorang yang baik hati yang menaja rancangan-rancangan ini semua, Cik Naim, seorang property agent, betul ya?
Ya, saya. Hai semua.
How's business, sir?
Alhamdulillah, bagus.
So far so good.
Alhamdulillah, so far so good. Yes, correct.
Okay, so do you want to talk about your business anyway?
Okay. Saya ni seorang ejen hartanah daripada ERA. Okay, setelah berkecimpung dalam bidang hartanah ni selama 6 tahun, lebih lah, lebih kurang gitu macam. Okay, jika anda di luar sana yang perlukan advice ataupun ada pertanyaan pasal hartanah, tidak kira anda nak beli ke, nak jual ke, ada apa-apalah saja pasal hartanah, anda boleh hubungi saya.
Number please.
InsyaAllah saya akan jawab pertanyaan. Okay, contact number saya mudah je, ingat je, 9489 2556 ataupun 9489 2556.
Sentuh pasal kerja ni kan.
Saya.
Lelaki kan,
Saya.
kita Adam, kawan Adam ni, kalau kita balik kerja kita akan penat.
Okay,
balik
betul.
penat. Then what is your first reaction when Assalamualaikum and your wife at the door?
Okay, Alhamdulillah dia ada at the door. I mean, to be memang betul lah. It's like somebody welcome you back home.
Right.
Okay, after a tiring day work, especially bila dia, you tunggu kat depan pintu, dia senyum, dia buka pintu senyum, and whatever yang kat luar sana kita just forget about. Kita dah balik rumah.
So do you expect that, mengharapkan that your wife will be at the door whenever you balik rumah?
Mengharap tu tidak, tapi macam
Cakap je lah, berharap kan.
Ini ada. Okay. So, yalah, kalau boleh memang kita nak itulah kan.
Kata orang tu nampak wajah isteri lembut hati kita kan.
Tapi kita pun harus faham not every day is sunny. Kadang-kadang dia pun ada masalah dia sendiri kan. Jadi yalah, kita pun harus inilah, kira ambil kira ni semua, then always be open lah. Jangan ni.
Sebagai sang suami kan, kata orang tu, ketua keluarga kan, do you hold the authority in the house? Okey lah, macam gini lah. Takut bini ke tidak lah.
Okay, ni kalau buat cerita kelakar, ni kalau saya share, okay. Saya tak takut bini, tapi bini saya pun tak takut saya. This is what he share lah.
Alright,
No,
okay.
In my point of view, no lah. The thing is, it's not about fear, it's respect lah. Respect. So, saya tak rasa the question mana kita?
Do you hold authority ataupun keluarga tu you pegang tu arahan semua daripada
tak lah. Okay, frankly for both of us, kita communicate if whenever possible, kita I don't hold the authority because saya harus faham yang kebanyakan masanya saya di luar, so I don't know what is happening at home. Maybe there's something that kids done that I'm not aware of. So saya tak really macam expect like, okay, you balik you nak kena buat ni. I just go with the flow.
Tapi kalau isteri marah, apa buat?
Asyik senyum lah. I mean,
pujuk.
I don't know about others. For me, it's like I'm that kind of person who's like, I'm very quiet. Kalau macam if the other party is angry, it'll be more like very quiet. I won't like.
Sebelum jadi singa tu kan, baik aku sembunyi dalam gua lah.
But the thing is, I think I should do more lah. Kadang-kadang like you say lah, pujuk lah. Tapi the thing is, I need to understand what is happening before I do anything.
Selalunya kita dengar kan kalau isteri marah ataupun meradang, suami akan pujuk. Tapi kalau suami marah pula, isteri buat apa?
Senyum je lah. Macam tadi dia cakap, buka pintu, senyum je kat depan. Well, I think kalau suami marah, it's two way lah. Both is the same. I think situation depends on it a lot. But you know how you berbual tadi pasal adab. So dalam setiap what's that, argument or any issues you have, kalau merajuk ke whatever, berapa lama lah kita nak marah kalau orang yang kat sebelah tu cakap, could you please have this, tak maaf, sorry, duduk, would you like a coffee, simple ni benda. Takkan kau nak ngamuk kat tepi gitu kan, macam gitu. So it's at the end of the day, it falls back to manners.
Alright. So at the end of the day, come back to you. If your husband is angry, saya kenal ni. Kalau suaminya marah, bang, kopi bang gitu.
Tak lah, kalau suami marah, duduk tanya, kenapa marah? Dia manners kan. Kalau tidak, kenapa ni marah ni, kenapa ni? Tu ada candul lagi marah. Aku punya pasal lah aku marah kan.
Tapi kalau awak pula marah, what do you expect from the husband to do towards you?
Oh, me I'm quite simple in that sense. Kalau I'm upset about something, you get a bit biased. I remember how I talk about manners.
Yeah.
So manners is very important kan?
Right.
So even if you are being adab, baik, tapi you don't address the issue, tu boleh buat mengirap sikit kat dalam.
So you will sit and
yes, sit,
you open the topic and
open the
discuss,
topic, berbual dengan respect and address the issue. Jangan pretend it's not there lah. Then ni kan semua nanti dia pile up.
Oh, really
Macam
meeting gitu.
Kenalah sikit, bikin appointment sikit. Sayang, I balik hari
Alam merajuk berapa hari?
Apa dia?
Alam merajuk.
Diorang cakap jangan bawa ke malam.
Dia jangan merajuk berapa hari?
Dia pukul 9 dia habis. Time out.
Normally, for us, we try not to bring it to the next day. Macam the limit is probably before you sleep, you should.
Yep.
So a new day will be a fresh day.
Yeah,
agree.
Yeah. Okay. Siti, I think you have one kid together with two stepkids. Sorry.
Yeah. So I have two stepdaughter and my son who's 10. Tu lagi satu. So one day you should hear him talk. Pasal dia kalau berbual pun non-stop juga.
Oh, should you come and it's very interesting if we have a kid in the podcast. They come.
But you know the fact that you brought up adab,
Right.
Bilanglah love story sikit lah. Boleh.
It's interesting.
Okay. So my husband, I jumpa dia, I fell in love with him kerana adab dia. So I tak kenal dia, so I kenal dia punya brother. So I met I'm friends with the brother for many years. Lepas tu one day macam faham nak kuruskan badan lah kan. Pergilah gym konon.
Okay.
Pergi gym. So with my friend who train me and everything. Lepas tu satu hari dia bawa lah abang dia.
Right. Okay.
Jumpalah abang dia namanya Herman. Okay.
So Herman
Dengar
ni
nak kena.
Adab.
Tapi bila I jumpa dia, physically he is huge, he's big, and I tak expect such adab, kelembutan daripada orang yang kita ni a bit more, I would say, slightly biased, judgmental. When you look at a person who's big, you expect them to be a bit more awkwardy, tapi dia punya adab macam kita kat gym tu tengok dia tolong orang, macam thank you, welcome. Then I realised that the adab makes conversations become very pleasant. Macam gitulah jatuh boy.
See action is the action really reflects a good character of a person.
Yes, I think it does. What you do is what people see. So from there, people tend to respect you for what you are doing, but not what you are talking about.
How about heart?
Oh.
Ada orang tu ganas. Macam awak kan? Oh, minum motor ni.
Tak adalah.
Berapa besar motor sekarang?
Tak besar. Cukup je lah. Boleh. Macam 900cc gitu okey lah.
But do you think that with your rough,
Okay. Honestly, me, I mean, I've always been very sporty,
Right.
very, orang kata tomboy sikit lah.
Right.
Okay. Bawa motor. So campur dengan banyak boys, and boys are naturally a bit more ganas with that particular sport of riding kan. So naturally, I'm always a bit more, kecoh kan. Sekali jumpa Herman, dia pula lembut. What it did to me was brought out my softness, my own adab, which I felt I know about it. I tahu I boleh do that in that way. Tapi cuma because you're mixing around with a bit more rougher group, so you tend to forget these little basic things. Then bila jumpa dia, then I realised, padahal boleh cakap baik-baik. And it happens. So what happens to me is I become a much more refined individual with the adab.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
do your wives change you?
Yes, I think she have changed me a lot, to the better lah. Like she said, actually your partner sometimes is the best teacher that you can have. Kan? What she shows you is like something that her sincerity lah, macam dia punya perangai macam gitu. Dan you tengok, you can imitate lah, macam ikut lah kalau benda baik. Jadi kita tak taruh. In fact, I think she's the person who's like knows me in and out, macam tak senang, buat saya marah lah.
Mana jumpa tu?
Wah, ini cerita lama. Actually, I macam she was the husband is the kawan dia punya abang kan. Okay, her brother is my buddy. Kita pun main motor.
Bagus kan? Ada kawan bagus kan?
Dulu kita main motor je. Abang dia ni kita punya kawan lah.
Right.
Kita kenal lah adik dia.
Right.
Masa tu tak sangat, pasal kita pun haluan masing-masing, masih gonjol lah, masih main motor ni semua kan. Tapi macam dah jodoh kan, kita jumpa lagi. Then continue lah from there.
Ini betul ni bulan Ramadan ni kita
Betul.
cakap yang baik-baik.
Ya,
kan?
correct.
Betul.
Betul.
Ikhlas daripada hati.
Ya,
Ikhlas.
Baik, kita sentuh balik pada anak tadi kan.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have 3 kids, right?
Yes.
Which is come from different environment.
Yes, correct.
So how do you relate ataupun how do you put yourself in the center between that two to akrabkan orang punya relationship?
Okay, coming from 2 different families and suddenly you get blended in one family, it's not easy. Especially, of course, budak-budak ni akan affected dengan the previous marriages that has gone on. So when we come together, I think pentingnya apabila kita bring together, kita jaga hati masing-masing. So even though dorang kanak-kanak, kita cannot just wave off what they think, and we have to acknowledge. Macam mungkin pertama kali, I mean based on my experience when I dengan my daughters so when I first met them, ada awkward dia, but kita as the adult has to be the much more, I would say, receptive individual, where dorang punya feedback kita kena act based on how they behave. So bila kita tengok diorang dah comfortable sikit, okay, then kita bawa keluar sesama.
Right.
So what I always do is very important, jangan pilih kasih. And we are only humans. And of course, apabila kita dah bawa budak-budak together and diorang dah besar. My first daughter is like almost 18, and then I've got a 15, and then my son is 10. So although the 10 years old requires more attention, but I take a little bit more effort with myself whenever I'm with my stepdaughters to make sure they don't feel separated.
Right.
So when you do activities, you plan for something where they can blend together. And I am very blessed lah, pasal my anak boy ni, dia memang celoteh lah sikit. Jadi dia blend very easily. Dia macam first time jumpa, hey hello, I'm meeting my new sister.
Prama lah.
Dia prama. Jadi that makes it very easy for me. And budak-budak will be able to see through you. Jadi kalau kita sincere, kita buat, we start to love them, we bring them as part of the family all together, they will feel it. And that's when things will just work out on its own. You don't have to put much effort, it becomes very natural.
Now, when is the best age, right, for us to step out from their boundary, the strict boundary?
85.
You know,
Yeah.
kita setuju that I think they are independent. We should not be involved so much. What is the best age you think? Umur yang paling tepat lah.
I think untuk saya there's no right age, or because it depends on individual. Kadang-kadang mungkin anak kita ni dah sampai certain age yang level ataupun dia rasa dia nak explore the world. Then mungkin kita berikan semangat level belakang lah. Kita perhatikan because this is rumlah haram, macam the thing goes, is a cycle. Some kids they start earlier, some kids start later. So for me, I don't know. For my eldest, because my eldest is only 20, my second is 16. So the thing is, for the eldest, when dia dalam army ni, then I see him like mixing around more with his friends, which dia dah start. So, but for my daughter, masih lagi with us, tapi kita dah nampak je macam at times dia want to go out with the friends. Then from there, I think there's no right age or wrong age lah. We go with the flow.
Siti, I was thinking in now modern technologies, right? There's a lot of social medias and so forth, right? They are too influenced with the outside world.
Yep.
Right? What I want to say is that, is it okay ataupun sehat tak kalau mereka ni mengikuti budaya-budaya Western?
Okay. Budaya-budaya Westerners ni is a long history. We are talking about definitely very different from kita punya culture, Melayu punya culture.
Right.
But for them to fit in with the current environment, they need to have knowledge also. So, yang pentingnya apabila kita ada anak, when they are exposed to this kind of media, we need to let them know what is our standard as Muslims, as Malays, and what the Westerners do, and if it's right, how to best do that right thing better from Islamic perspective, from a Malay community perspective, rather than tell them ini salah, ni tak boleh buat, ni haram. No. Then kita kena ajar diorang, kalau diorang nak masuk bidang yang being shared in Western media and everything, we need to show them the Islamic perspective, the Malay community perspective, because that brings them back to their roots. So, very important in the growing age, kita keep them close to family, where they are exposed, rather than just expect, because you cannot control what dorang tengok. My God, you click on YouTube, you see 1,001 things.
Right.
Tapi kita kena ingatkan dorang, and especially like, I give you an example. My anak is 10, right? So he watches a lot of YouTube shorts.
Right.
So YouTube shorts at the current moment, their media is a little bit more, I would say their content is a bit more violent for children, but they actually find it funny. So the Westerners are, very cool with all that, and so I explained to him how violence is being perceived in Islam, and how we are in a state that does not support open violence with weapons. So you need to address from all view, but don't forget to input the religious perspective. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to understand why they cannot do it. So kita kena ingatkan begitu, and as you go along, I think it's a daily thing lah. You just got to go with it, and you have to face the fact that they are going to see this media, this content out. But we cannot just tell them, look, it's not great, don't go to that side. It's not going to happen. The grass is always greener on the other side. That, budak-budak especially macam, macam best je diorang begitu. So kita kena ingatkan diorang back to their roots.
Now, you say about social media, then they look into YouTube, and they have a lot of bahasa that comes. Tapi sentuh bahasa.
Yeah.
Right? So bahasa, right? That kind of thing. So bahasa ni, diorang cakap, bukan cakap lah. It's true that Melayu ni, it's prihatin dalam segi watak, kelembutan seorang Melayu, mesti ada simpati ni. So but then, we tend to speak more English macam kita
Betul.
ni. Even now, is at home. How does it impact in the family? Do you think that bahasa Melayu ataupun bahasa English ni really have the impact? If I say, minta maaf,
Sorry.
alright, or if I say much more better, I'm sorry so the punya impact tu will be a bit different. Do you think that's different? I don't know. I'm just asking, but kalau kita berbahasa, right, if I'm serious with you, I would cakap, I wouldn't say sorry, I would say minta maaf, that pasal kita Melayu. Do you think there's an impact in the family? Or the kids? I don't know. I'm just open discussion for this.
So because I don't know, because kids nowadays are exposed to various things that we might not even know. Tapi it depends on apa yang diorang selalu cakap buat. Sometimes if they are used to cakap orang putih, that I mean you will know your kids macam in and out lah. Kadang whether dia sincere ke tak kan. Dia cakap tu kadang-kadang tak perlu dalam bahasa Melayu pun. Pasal dia dah bercampur gaul dengan all those friends yang kat luar sana kan.
Right.
So for me I accept any kind of language English ke Malay ke, because I know, as long as I know that it's sincere from them. Because I don't know, I cannot speak for others, tapi for my kids I think when they speak to me I like to take a look at their eyes and jadi whether I can see whether there's sincerity or not.
I got so much to say about this. Okay, we don't just look at Melayu. Kita tengok even in schools, the Indian kids, the Chinese kids, the Malay kids, of course you can see there's much lesser knowledge of their own language.
Right.
As a mak yang bawa motor Melayu ni, macam, mak naik mana bang naik motor? Bila anak berbual, my son is struggling. Dah macam, mama, I nak pergi, it's word by word. It's frustrating. One educational institution in Singapore still requires the Malay language to be a part of the curriculum. Okay? And then when budak-budak struggling with that particular language, kesian. That's one. Second, I blame myself. Then I'll be like, alamak, kalau tahu kecil-kecil aku ajar betul-betul. And then sometimes bila I dengar bahasa Melayu kita versus English, bila berbual, bahasa Melayu can be kasar. Unless kita berbual 1960-an abang, kemanakah kamu akan
klasik lah.
So kan, memang lembut lah. Tapi kalau, bang balik kau berapa bang? Nak macam, lama. Jangan anda dengar. Kejut macam, like, dear, what time you coming home? Sounds, So it's different situation like you ask me. And like what he said, you going to have to deal with it. Sedih is sedih. Kita punya language diminishing over time. But I also believe Singapore is putting a lot of effort to build up the Malay language within the community. And I think there's a lot of organizations out there yang plan Malay community events. So that's motivating.
Very nice. Kita patah balik lah pasal kita kenal sama satu lain. Cakap ni, what's your favorite food? Your husband favorite food?
My husband favorite food mak engkau. Ini macam ni dia orang panggil kan Melayu dengan English dia panggil ice cream. Ice cream. What's his favorite food? Oh my goodness, why?
It's a good question, right? What's your favorite food?
Actually, dia pasal adab dia. Kita balik ke adab dia.
Pasal it's important, is it? Men will cool down when they see food, right?
Adab dia bagus. The reason why I cannot identify his favorite food because every single time I cook or kasih dia makan, he eats to the very last drop.
Ini pandai dah kau ni.
No, betul. Tak betul. Bulan Ramadan ni. Every single drop. And he will thank you for the food. And he will say thank you very much for getting up to cook for me. And it's so sampai dah tak boleh catch. So, I try test recipe on him pun dia cakap, oh sedap ni, sedap.
So selamat ni lah bulan puasa ni.
Settle. Hamburger, pop. Sedap.
Do you cook for your wife?
Occasionally lah.
Wow. So what do you cook for her?
Lelaki ni senang nasi goreng. Nasi goreng. Oh, those
Simple,
typical lah nah.
Apa reaksi dia?
Of course she's very happy lah. She's honored and no, bila kita masak pun kadang-kadang cakap sedap. Tapi pada kita betul ke ni sedap lah. Because kita tak tahu tapi memang she's very macam appreciative lah.
Right. So I think the word is about respect. I believe about respect.
Yep.
Right, and understanding one another. I think is from there kita akan kenal lebih dalam satu sama lain.
Oh, definitely.
Betul.
Baik. Ucapan untuk
I think
seorang yang awak kasih.
oh,
dengan
ni
motif.
pada suami saya ke? I rasa nak terima kasih lah sangat-sangat to my husband for showing me a world so kind, how we can be so kind in the world in many different ways. It's brought out a part of me which I never thought was there. The appreciation towards kindness is a whole different level. Because if you feel like in whatever situation you're handling, you'll be able to do it with grace. Yes. So I want to thank sang suami.
Cina sweet sikit lah.
Ya, saya pun seperti dia harus berterima, bukan cakap harus lah, kita patut berterima kasih dengan isteri kita. Okay, for whatever they have done, the sacrifices. Because for me, she has sacrificed a lot. I'm taking the risk in jumping to a real estate. Masa tu, she's behind me lah. In whatever I'm doing, she's always behind me, and I really appreciate her prayers because another part of me is like I really need her prayers and support to be successful.
Wow, baiklah, kita dah dengar percakapan, ucapan yang manis kepada seorang-seorang yang kita sayangi. Boleh itu, kami akhiri daripada rancangan
Ranting
dengan salam Ramadan. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.